Good afternoon, WXOU listeners. It is time for the Jolly Good Radio Hour right here in the basement of the Oakland Center. I'm your host, Buggy D, for the hour, and joining me here today, we have two beautiful people from Blue View Studios. We have with us
Mr. Josh Taube.
Along with?
I'm Milan Panich.
Whoa.
All right. Thanks so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for calling me beautiful.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah, wow. Milan never gets
that.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
usually it's stud, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Solid.
Yeah.
Misconception. So Milan the Stud.
Yes.
Yeah. Joining us here today.
That was my wrestling name back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say.
Mhm.
What was your finisher?
The Stud Muffin.
The stud.
All right, awesome. So to get down to business here, we just had the horror film roulette just occur not too long ago, correct? Around
About a week ago.
about a
Yeah.
week ago. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Right on. So it's basically a film competition. Correct me if I'm wrong in any way, but basically a film competition where there's a giant roulette, you spin it, and it's a different horror genre. And
Yep.
depending on which one you get, that's the movie you make.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, right on. So tell me a little about the part you played in this and what you did exactly.
So I actually started it about 3 years ago with a good friend of mine, Nick Goodwin.
Awesome.
And it was just the two of us at the time. And we actually submitted a film. It's a 2-week process to actually make a film.
Mhm.
And Nick decided to call me the night before it was due to make the film. So we actually spent, within 24 hours, we wrote, shot, and edited the film, turned it in, and we ended up winning.
Nice.
Yeah, all within 24 hours. So after winning that, I developed a little bit of more of a rapport with Eric, and we started working on the alpha, which we made a couple of years ago.
Awesome.
And we decided that we join the horror film roulette again. And when we did it the next year, I had Milan, I had Al, I had Mark, obviously more involved in this one, and we ended up winning a second time in a row.
Nice.
So year 3, which was last year, we made Harambe, which was Harambe coming back from the dead to kill the zookeepers. And
I
that
was
actually...
a zookeeper. He killed me. It was
Yeah,
great.
Milan was killed, I was killed, everyone died. It was great. And that actually just ended up, we were in a film competition for the Click on Detroit challenge.
Yeah.
We ended up making it into the top 10 with Harambe
No way.
just a couple weeks ago.
That's awesome.
So-
yeah, we actually had a DJ here who actually entered himself. He did a noir musical.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I've
Yes.
heard of that one.
Thomas
yeah.
Butcher.
Okay, nice.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, well, he was our competition.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made it. We made it last year, and we kind of decided that we didn't want to compete again because we didn't really want to discourage, cause any discouragement. We're like, if we win again, everybody's gonna hate us. You know, that kind of feeling. So,
You mean when we win again?
but it was one of those things. We decided, you know what? Hey, we've played our part with this. Let's help horror film roulette get bigger.
Right.
So we decided to compete, but not compete, but we decided to submit it as a sponsor.
Mhm.
So we decided to give some prizes out, things like that. And ever since then, we've decided to just be sponsors for the horror film roulette. So we were this year. We were last year, obviously, but we thought that was the right move. And Eric's been a great friend of ours. He's helped us out in so many different projects. And to be able to help him out in this is definitely something we enjoy too. So we definitely thought it was the right move to just go that route with it.
Yeah, I can't speak for the rest of the team, but I think I like being a sponsor more so than being in the competition because I feel like it's a big weight off our shoulders.
Yes.
Like we always try and make the best we can do, but when we're a sponsor, we're making it the best just to make the best, not to win.
It's art for the sake
So,
of art.
Yeah, exactly.
You
We're just doing it for the fun of it.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, so it's also nice to kind of, we want to be in the spotlight, obviously, being a production company. You want your name out there. But we also want to see somebody else kind of emerge from
Right.
that too. I always believe in sending the elevator down. Now, sure, we have a long way to go ourselves, but we've definitely seen a lot of success in our career in the last couple of years. And it's just kind of nice to see somebody else get that. And plus, when they see our name nice and big before the film starts. They know, the
Yeah.
Blue View crew's in. Blue View's
So
got
it's a nice
something.
perk.
So we still get our
Exactly.
name out out there, obviously, but really it's more for promotional. At this point, we want our studio to be known. We don't need awards to do what we do. We just want to make art. We want to make something that enjoys an audience, and we love to challenge ourselves with new topics, new genres.
That's awesome. Very noble. So how were the results of this year compared to last? Has it grown? Has there been anything different?
It's grown exponentially. I was talking to Terry and Eric, the two people who run the Horror Film Roulette. I think last year there was about 20-ish teams competing. This year there was almost 40. So it's absolutely it's been growing exponentially for them, and I'm really happy to see it grow that much. We booked they, Eric and Terry. Eric and Terry booked.
Sponsored by Blue View Studios.
Yeah. They booked a theater at AMC 30 over here on Holland Mound.
Beautiful.
And they actually had to get a bigger theater once they got the list of cast and crew who were going to show up.
Yeah.
I think they got like around a 200-seat theater, and 250 cast and crew were like confirmed.
Dang.
Like, yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to buy tickets.
Right.
So they got one that I think seated like 380, and
Yeah.
we packed it up.
Yeah.
It was great. It was so awesome seeing so many people coming out to like show off their films, and so many people coming out to support local filmmaking. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I mean, who was the big winner in the end?
The big winner was for a film called Dead Air.
Okay, cool.
The concept was pretty cool. It was all pretty much from like the TV, like when you're looking at a TV, through the TV. Essentially, it was like all from a news station, and so it was kind of
you were watching the newscast.
Yeah, and it was all from that perspective. So it didn't jump away from it, anything like that. It always stayed within the confines of the television.
That's really cool.
And it was just basically like the progression of a zombie outbreak, essentially. Really cool effect they did at the end. They had. I won't give any spoilers away, but the ending of it had some really cool makeup in it. Really cool effect that I thought.
It was really well done. I didn't expect to see anything like that, and it definitely like blew me away with their creativity with it. It was really good.
Yeah. But no, we saw a couple of my friends actually competed. A friend of mine, Jordan Dedeen, made a silent film, no music, just had the sound of the projector running, and it blew my mind. The guy
it was
is
incredible. I wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah, let's take a second to talk about Jordan here, okay? The guy is like, he's one of those filmmakers that he can be ambiguous sometimes in his thinking, but like when it translates to the screen, I'm just in awe. Like they always talk about how Rick and Morty is a smart show for smart people. He was like the Rick and Morty of the horror film roulette. Like the guy, the concept was awesome. It was, and the fact that he was able to keep you on the edge of your seat without any music or sound, just the sound of a projector. I'm just sitting there like, okay, like this was his first actual film that he directed, and I'm like, wow, you're already like at year 8 of what I was at in my career. Like I'm like, how did you jump 8 years in one film? But no, I was highly impressed with it. It's called True Love. It's actually on our Blue View Cinema channel, our YouTube channel. So definitely give that one a shot. Right. And then the other one I actually helped out with. It's called The Cat's Meow. That Brad, my friends Brad and Marlene made, and that one was pretty good too. So they basically it's about a killer cat, but it's very cute and fun, and we did that in like 24 hours as well. They're like, let's just do it, So that was really cool too, but hilarious film. But the one we did for us this year, it was a film called Up.
Awesome. So not the Disney
Up. So that's the thing we've been running into is everybody's like, Disney's Up, and I'm like, nope, it's spelled with 2 P's.
Oh, got him.
Yeah. got him.
Yeah,
so we're gonna up the up, but no, we decided to call it that because one of our favorite horror directors, David Sandberg, he's Swedish.
Okay, cool.
And the Swedish spelling or word for up is up with an extra P.
Cool.
So we're like, we're just going to call it that because it has that simplicity, that style. But I think what was really cool about this particular film is that it was one of the first times where I felt a big milestone for our team. Mm-hmm. A lot of our stuff, it's pretty well shot. There's good music, stuff like that. But we always kind of focus on comedies, something that's funny. And this time we went for something that was just purely horror all the way through. No jokes, no funny. Right. Maybe there's a little bit of a comic relief segment, but not even that. And
we knew that as soon as we were like given the all clear to be a sponsor again, we knew like, okay, no comedy this time.
Yeah.
Straight horror. We've literally never done that. Like, let's get it. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
And I think it turned out pretty well.
I'd say so. Yeah, we shot it all pretty much in the dark. Our lighting guy Cole is a genius. Morgan killed it with the makeup that she uses in this film too, but she's always been fantastic. And really, I'd say the MVP of this one was Alex.
Oh yeah.
The guy, he's our actor in the film, and the guy really knows how to pull off being in a lot of pain.
Okay, all right. We'll leave that up to everyone to interpret.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, wow! Like people were asking, like, has that guy really been in that much pain before? I'm like, no. From what I understand,
I swear we didn't actually.
Yeah, we didn't do anything.
So he didn't actually get harmed at all.
No,
right, yeah. It's just no method acting. Involved.
No animals were harmed on set, even though he's a human.
Right,
and also, we gotta give a credit to Mr. Matt Ratzel on the music and the sound effects. Absolutely incredible as always.
Yeah.
Actually, quick question about music though.
Yeah.
Are you guys a fan of rap?
Yeah.
Rap?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, we got
this square over here.
Well, either way, we got Danny Brown tickets to give away here tonight during the show. So feel free to text in at 248-370-4274 for your chance to win. Just tune in, text in with your favorite song by him. Those tickets are yours. Okay, now back to the interview.
and don't worry, Josh won't be taking up any of your
Danny
space.
Brown's great, though. You didn't tell me it was Danny Brown,
Well,
so...
That was my reveal to it.
Yeah, well, don't I feel like a square?
Got him.
But yeah, no, the film, I mean, the film's only 5 minutes. All the shorts in the horror film roulette are under 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So that's what's really cool about it, too. All digestible. So you could really sit through all the films, I think, in under, 3 hours? I think
about definitely under.
Wow. Okay, so 5-minute films over the course of 3 hours.
Yeah.
That pumps out what? How many movies?
It's 37, I believe, was the total. There was an intermission in between it, but yeah, when Eric first said he was going to show all of them, I was like, really? Like, they're going to get to ours, and they're going to be like, I don't even care about movies anymore. But to our surprise, they all stuck around. But then again, this year I felt was a really solid year as far as competing teams go. There wasn't really one where I was like, don't be a part of this. You know,
right,
they were all good contenders.
It was good batch of films, absolutely.
Awesome, lovely. All right, I think it's a good idea to take a quick little music break here. But before we do, tell me each of you like your most memorable moment of this year's horror roulette.
Oh man, the most memorable moment was probably when the time came around for like the show to start, so to speak. Yeah. I was just hanging out with Josh and Al because we were there early to like help get set up and stuff. Okay. I look over and I literally see just a wave of people come in and then go right to where the horror film roulette was going to be shown. I'm just like, wow, this is big. Wow, this got really big this year. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Yeah.
I'd probably say my favorite moment had to have been when I saw Dao Yang on screen. Hands down.
Yes.
The guy doesn't act. He's not like this actor. He's usually behind the camera. And Dao's the very silent type. He's a very quiet dude. But when I saw him on screen, I lost it because it's just imagine like the most quiet guy possible doing martial arts. Like I lost it. Right. The guy's fantastic. I know it's so random and out there, but like it really for me it made the event.
That's awesome. No, I'll be right there with you. Someone who practices judo. Anytime I see someone just practicing martial arts, I get a big old grin on my face.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially when they're not martial arts people. At least that I know of. I'm sorry, Dow, if you are.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Jolly Good Radio Hour, and we still have the Blue View crew with us. Our buddies.
Josh.
I'm Milan.
I don't really like mine. Josh. It's just one.
Just Josh.
Syllable.
What a square.
Let's get more into your company itself, Blue View Studios.
Yes.
Just to start off, how did you come up with the name Blue View? Do you just like the coloring, like good views, or
do we like good views? We want more views on our channel.
What is your YouTube channel, by the way?
Our YouTube channel is Blue View Cinema. If you're looking for movies, and if you were looking for just our work in general, it's Blue View Studios. Oh, cool. So we actually partner them together. So if you go to one of the other channels, it'll say to check out the other one, basically. So if you wanted to subscribe to both, obviously, but Blue View Cinema. It's pronounced exactly how it sounds. But yeah, no, we came up, or at least I came up with it because this was back when Mark and I were running it, and Blue View, essentially, for me, I look at it as an outlook on life. You have a blue view on things. Now, most people are going to be like, what, are you depressed? And it's like, no, it's not depression. It actually has to do with basically like the sky being the limit.
Okay.
So there's limitless opportunities with Blue View Studios. If you have a blue view, it's a limitless outlook on life. So that's what we basically want to achieve. We're not a one-trick pony. We want to do horror. We want to do comedy. We want to do drama. We want to shoot weddings. We want to shoot commercials, all that stuff, you know. There's nothing that our team can't do when we're all put together. And so that's kind of why the name, I believe, fits so well for us, because we're just not afraid to take on new challenges.
Awesome.
I ain't scared of nothing.
Ain't scared of nothing. Milan's only scared of mice, right?
Gorillas, actually.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of gorillas.
I'm not a fan of
just the
gorillas.
vengeful ones.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So, did that Harambe film get to you then?
Oh, that's what caused it.
Oh,
Right.
dang.
You can't even drink banana milk.
I
the
know I
same
can't.
way.
I can't. It's horrible, man.
So, tell me then, what's it like, kind of, I guess, like the business side of things? Like, what does it really take to actually run a film company, especially with the way things are going now?
Right. So obviously, you know, there's no Michigan tax incentive here.
Right.
But that's never really been anything that's stopped us before. And I think for most filmmakers, it hasn't stopped them. Right now, as far as generating any sort of income or revenue, we don't really focus on filmmaking as our main income source. It really is going to fall on businesses and weddings. So our biggest client right now is the typical bride. You know, they want some sort of video that captures the event. So we make highlight videos, we make full-length videos, things like that for them. So that's really where we are starting to get our name out there. And the beautiful thing about a wedding is that they have bridesmaids, and bridesmaids also get married, or groomsmen on the groom's side, because grooms can do that too.
A lot of our recent weddings have been word of mouth like that, so
Yeah.
it's been able to kind of exponentially grow on itself.
Yeah, and so it's obviously been word of mouth. Social media is definitely everybody's best friend as far as
Right.
business goes. But no, I guess what it really takes to jump into business is passion.
Right.
Passion and drive. I mean, it's such a cliche thing to say, but you gotta love what you do.
Mhm.
And I think when you love what you do, you in turn become a master of that craft.
Okay.
And I really felt that this year we were becoming professionals. You know, from everybody's angle. Like Milan, you know, when I first met him, he had just come out of Specs Howard. Just a fresh, bright-eyed, bushy tail, bushy beard.
I love the description of Milan, right?
Yeah, but no, yeah, you know, he was Mark's cousin, and you know, obviously, when somebody recommends family, you're like, okay, this guy's probably terrible, right? But he comes in, he's got this drive. He's like, let's just do it. I'll run sound, even though he wanted to be on camera, but the guy's got this work ethic that's just infectious. You know, I'm a work hard. I'm a die hard guy when it comes to work. I'm militant. When there's a deadline, it's hit, it's set. And Milan's that guy too. He's like, when and where, man? Let's do it. And that's the thing is, when you have a bunch of people that are all like-minded that way, you're going to succeed. And we've noticed that our company has grown almost 4 times in just a matter of a year, as far as our presence, revenue, things like that. So it's really cool to see that we are growing that way. And it's just going to get better. And especially the amount of people that are getting involved. I mean, how many people did we know when we first were in the business?
Like,
probably enough to count on one
I'd say
hand.
like 5
Yeah.
at total.
Exactly. Now we have dozens of people that we're talking to, communicating to. They're helping us out. If Milan and Al can't help me, I can grab one of them. So the quantity of people and the quality of people has just been through the roof.
Incredible. That's awesome. So what has been some of your biggest challenges so far?
The biggest challenge, I'd say, is really just continuously finding clients. It's not like you go to your work, you know, you go to your job and you get paid for that 9 to 5 thing
there's
or whatever
no
you're
time
doing.
cards here.
Exactly. There's no time cards. It's okay. You got a client. Great. Now you're done with the client. Guess what? You got to go find another one. It's not just you sit there and clients are all knocking on your door and asking for, you know, the highest price service possible. So it is constantly grinding. I mean, that's the labor behind a business. You have to keep going. You have to keep.
It's like 80% finding clientele and then 20% doing the actual work.
Right, because I don't know. It's funny because most people dread going to work, and here we are. When we get work, we're like, yeah, all right, yes, we get to sweat it out for like 30 hours this week. That's awesome, you know. So no, it's just such a freeing moment. But that's the thing. When you own a business, yeah, there's a lot you have to do.
Right.
Everything is going to be a labor, but it's a labor of love,
Right.
and I love what I do. I get to shoot weddings. I get to shoot commercials. I get to literally progress somebody's life, essentially.
Right.
When they run a business and they're like, I need promotion, we're there. We get to make them better. And the same thing with a wedding. At the end of the day, they get that video, and that video captured the best day of their life, most likely. You know, babies sometimes are more important. Right?
Yeah.
Right. You know.
But like that's usually the single most important moment in somebody's life is a wedding, and we get to package that up and give it to them, and guess what? They get to remember that forever. Our job lasts pretty much their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
The cake lasts for the duration of the wedding. The venue lasts the duration of the wedding, but the memory, we get to make the memory.
That's awesome.
And that's what's so cool about it. So it's such a good feeling with this business too.
Oh, yeah,
we're doing so much good, at least in our eyes, for these people. You know, when we're doing this. So there's such a I can't think of the word right now, but basically it's a blessing that way.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing good things, and we enjoy doing these good things in return.
Yeah, and like to reiterate what Josh said, like it's one of those things to where like we love what we do, and I honestly feel like that's the way to go with life. If you're ever trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, do something that you love, because if you don't love it, I feel like that reflects a lot in the quality of work you put out.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell by the quality of work that I've seen from like our team with Blueview and everyone we've worked with. Everyone loves what they do, and so they give 123%. It's a random number.
123, I like it.
Yeah. And it shows. It really does show. So for anyone listening out there, do what you love.
Do what you love. No, I mean seriously, that's the thing. So many people are afraid to just try.
Right.
You know, and I think we're at such a good age too. You know, being in your 20s and failing. So what? You know, this year was the worst financial year for my personal finances. Right. But finally, it's kicking in gear, and you know, I'm living off of my business. That's, you know, how many people can say that? Like, most people start a business, you know, and they're like, that's great, and a couple months later it stops.
Right.
But now it's like I'm becoming one of those entrepreneur types that can actually thrive off of this. And I think that's amazing. And the freedom you get too. Mm-hmm. You get to call the shots. If you want that client, great. If you don't take the client, I think that's ridiculous. Why would you not want business? Right. You don't want to make money, but no, there's that freedom too that I get to do what I want to do at this point.
Right.
There's not this 9 to 5. You don't have this constrained schedule. You get to meet new people. You get to do new things. Mm-hmm. I mean, every project's different. You're not doing the same job every single time.
Right.
So really rewarding. Definitely
a lot of fun too.
Definitely recommend. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Would do again.
Yeah. Would do it again. Yes.
Love it. So one last quick question before we take a commercial break. So what would you say has been your inspiration to take that leap and start your own business and just go for it?
The inspiration was simply I didn't want to be just another drone, another cog in the machine. And I think Milan feels the exact same way.
I think I was working at like JCPenney or something, like folding jeans for like $7.50 an hour, and I'm just like, this is the worst. I hate this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, and no, it's just the leap is, you know, this is the mentality I have, and it was actually a guy, and I'm so bad at remembering anything in life, it seems like, but there's this one guy, and one of his quotes was, would you rather live a short life doing what you love, or live a long life but living it in a miserable way? And immediately I was like, I'm definitely going the short route for sure. I mean, being a short guy and all, I'm going to go short. But no, realistically, like, you know, you got to look at the one question. If money was no object, what would you do? Right. And whatever you answer, that's what you should do. Doesn't matter what it is. If you want to be a painter, be a painter. If you want to be a writer, be a writer. If you want to run a radio show, that's amazing. and Jolly, you do that.
I love the plug in there.
You do that,
Great
yeah.
job.
But no, like so many people just go, oh, I'd love to be a writer. I'd love to make movies, but I can't do that. That's tough. That's difficult. So few people do it, and it's like, no, dude. If you become good at this, or not become good, that's such a. If you take the time to learn the craft, just make stuff. Really, just make stuff. I've made so many bad videos, and I mean, out of the 100,
It's true. I've seen them.
Thanks a lot. As Mark would say, check out Unfinished Business. He absolutely hates that film, which I don't really care for either. But no, you just got to go out there and make stuff. And sure, people are not going to accept it in the beginning. They're all going to think it's weird, or I mean, you could be that natural that everybody loves the film, but most likely it's not going to happen. But you got to just keep making content and learn from the content. Learn what people like and what they don't like. One thing that's worked out in our favor is current trends.
Yeah.
Harambe,
yeah.
Ebola, The Office. We did a parody of that. But all these things, people love that, and so now they want to come back for more. So definitely, if I'm going to recommend anything, if we're going to get real for a second, just do it, man. As Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
What do we got going on?
Ooh, boy.
Ooh, doggy. So I actually informed Milan of this on the car ride here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's that fresh.
It's super fresh. Fresh to death.
So obviously we can't make any guarantees because, you know, just like anything in life, things change and sometimes we go in a different direction. But as of right now, I think we're going to go pretty ambitious, and we're going to make a horror anthology.
All right.
So, you
I like
familiar
this.
with what an anthology is, Dave?
Absolutely. It's where every episode's different.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, the anthology is going to be in a feature-length film.
Okay.
So, it won't be episodes or episodic. It's going to be just straight up 5 films, 1 movie, and that's the movie. So,
Awesome.
there's a film that's been my inspiration for this, and it's called Holidays.
Okay.
And each film, it was 8 of them. Each film is a holiday. So Mother's Day, New Year's Eve, all that stuff. And something happens on that particular day, and it's like a 10 to 15 minute short. So we're looking to go into that realm as well. Something that's familiar. We've been throwing around some ideas, but we want to pick kind of an environment that hasn't really been touched, and which that's what we're still trying to figure out. But what I do know we want is we want to have 5 different writers and directors.
You don't say.
So
Yeah.
each short
Alright.
will be
Want it to
directed.
be a big collaborative
Yes.
effort.
Each one will be directed and written by a different person.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally every episode's going to be completely different. from
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
next.
exactly.
Not
Each of
episode,
the
but
each
Yeah,
short.
each short.
yeah.
Each short. But yeah, it'll all have one common theme.
Okay.
And they can have pretty much creative control. I mean, Mark and I will probably be the overseers, of course.
Right.
And they'll be in affiliation with these other studios. So yeah, but we're gonna meet hopefully in the next month or 2,
Awesome.
and we're gonna just start shooting out ideas for scripts. And
Because November's when the truly spooky stuff gets underway.
oh my gosh, turkeys, dude! Have
Oh,
you
yeah,
seen
man.
what a turkey looks like?
Yeah, dude.
Horrifying.
Dude, I used to sell turkey, man. At Target life.
But no, we want to sit down with these writers and just go, okay, look, this is the theme. This is what we want for each short. Who wants it? And then they just go out, they pump out some scripts, they bring it back to us for review. We look it over. If it's approved by Josh and Mark, and maybe Milan.
Hey.
Just kidding.
That's me. Aw.
Milan's like camera, bro. But no. If we approve of those shorts, which I'm sure we will, that's why we brought these guys on in the first place. Then they go out and they write and direct it, and we put them all together, and it's something we're gonna try and really sell and market. Like, we want it to be on Netflix, we want it to be on Amazon, even video on demand just for purchase. But we've seen so few horror anthologies out there. There's maybe like one that comes out every 6 months, so it's like, why not tap into that?
Exactly. So here's the thing. Like, me personally, I feel like anthologies are actually on the rise, especially with Black Mirror becoming so popular.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's another one too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. That's the thing, they call that one the Twilight Zone of the modern day or whatever. And that's been inspiration as well. But I loved Black Mirror because, again, you might have one that's a flop, but then you have a really good one or a really bad one or whatever. But I like that idea of, if you don't really care for this one,
Right.
the next one might be better. Or if the next one was really good, the one after that might be even better or whatever. But you're not constrained to just one timeline, one story. It's multiple stories, and they're all completely different, but they maybe just follow one formula.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, no, we've been talking about different actors we want to bring on.
Awesome.
We might even fly in some actors
Oh, you
to
don't
like,
say.
yeah, add to the legitimacy. We flew in too from California earlier this year.
For people, places, things.
Yeah, and that made it
Nice.
into a film festival. Holland McFallister and McFallister. I'm always wrong. But Holland and our other guy, Sam Disanyake. Forget it. I give up. But we flew them in, and they were in a movie we saw called The Greasy Strangler. Absolutely love them, but I would be excited to bring, probably one of them or both of them back next year to do one of these too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some potential, but we want to go as heavy as we can on the artillery. Best cameras we can rent, the best team, lighting, everything. Like, it's gonna be lit.
It's going to be lit, fam.
Man, I'm so regretting that word already. But yeah, no, it's really exciting being able to see this and having these guys on board already. I already talked to 3 or 4 of the writers that I want.
Perfect.
And they're like, yes, please. So it's gonna happen. And I think what's cool too is that I don't have to worry about making 5 films. Right. I make 1, they make the other 4, so we could get it all done within that year.
Exactly.
Speeds up the process. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Be a very collaboration there. So, what are like the reputations of these writers? Like, what films have they made previous to this?
As far as the other writers?
Yeah.
So one of the ones I'm looking at, her name's Marissa Dene.
Mm-hmm.
And forget it. I'm always asking you, like, did I say the last name right? Like, you're the last name.
I think her actual real name is Palmieri.
Oh, yes, it is. See, you know things, Milan. I don't. Okay, yeah,
Milan
I just see her
Panich,
on
I
Facebook
know
as that, and I'm like,
things.
yes, Danae, yes. It's like French. But no, she did a really great 48-hour film called Know Your Limits, and her and her boyfriend Nick wrote that, and so I'd love to see them as one of the writers. Eric Steele, of course.
Of course.
Joe, I don't know if you know Joe Victor, but Joe works at the studio with Eric.
Awesome.
And he is amazing. So I'm definitely going to ask him.
Yeah, he's got an incredibly a beautiful artistic mind.
He's a method director. So there's method actors, and then you have a method director.
Okay, put a little more perspective into this for people. How would you describe a method director?
Okay, so pretend that you have an actor or a character, and the character hasn't slept for like 48 hours.
Okay, all right.
Joe will not sleep for 48 hours,
Mm.
and then he will direct the film. So he's essentially acting like the character and directing that way.
So he literally puts himself in that position.
He turns himself into the character as
my
he's
God.
as he's directing.
Yeah, it's crazy, but he's great.
Right, like method acting, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like if like Heath Ledger with the Joker, he was the Joker on and off set. Imagine the director is Joker on and off set. Like, that's awesome. So I see that, and I see that kind of level. I'm like, that's next level directing. I want that amount of crazy in my director, So, yeah, no, I think he's very talented. And then our last writer, we've been kind of tossing around. We're thinking one of our friends, possibly. It's tough at this point, but definitely we have a few in mind for sure for the last one. But yeah, I think it'll be an exciting experience. It'll be cool to collaborate with 4 studios. Yeah, it'll be amazing. Really.
So when you're going through these different portfolios and resumes for your writers, how do you decide who would make the cut and who wouldn't? Was it just kind of like who worked really well together, whose perspectives were completely different from each other, just writing style, or what?
It's kind of been like, we know you work, we think you're great, let's work together. kind
Pretty
of a
much
thing.
that's it. Okay. Whoever I have a man or woman crush on is probably who I'm going to bring on. As far as from a professional standpoint, like, dude, you're great. Okay, I love you. Like, come on board. I love what you do. So it's just seeing their past work. It's really that, but also seeing the level of passion too. Mm-hmm. I know these are individuals that'll get it done.
Right. And
they're going to come up with great content. And the fact that I'm going to have some involvement and Mark's going to have involvement, in the writing process, that's exciting too. So, there's really not an option for failure at this point because we're there to oversee the whole thing and go, hey, if your script's no good, we're not going to use it, or get good with writing that script, So that's what's really cool about that as well, is that, from beginning to end, we're going to be able to watch them make this film and perfect it. There's no deadline. When you're making a feature film like this, you don't have to have a deadline. It's let's just get it done and let's make it right, and then we'll market it.
Perfect. Yeah. So I guess, Milan, this question is more geared towards yourself. So coming right out of Specs Howard and coming into Blue View, you've definitely progressed and evolved.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because to me, from hearing this interview and where you were before, it sounds like you've become more of a director, more of just like a head honcho, kind of.
I wouldn't say head honcho. I've become more... what's the word I'm looking for? I've become more involved as far as I've been a lot more driven. Because I've found my home with camera work and being a camera op. Awesome. Whereas before I was kind of just like, I'll do like whatever you need. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, more utility.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But now I've kind of found like my passion and what I really want to do. So I think that's really helped me hone in and become better and more proficient at this one thing that I really, really want to do.
Awesome. And I take it that was just from like going through with these films and working with the horror roulette and just the events themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
I got more hands-on experience. I was able to learn what I liked, what I didn't like, and I landed on camera work being my one true love.
Yeah, Milan's turning into a leader in this kind of field too.
Awesome.
At first, he was just the guy that's like, yes sir, and but now,
yes, sir.
he's turned into somebody that can command a team and somebody that I can rely on to get the job done. I mean, there was a wedding we did a month ago, and it was the first one where I'm like, okay, the leash is off. Go for it, Milan. You got this. Fly, little birdie. But no, he did it. It was amazing, and the guy is turning into a leader himself. And that's one thing that I've been pushing for with this business. When I started this company with Mark, there's no employee boss situation. There's leaders, but there's just a team. Mm-hmm. We're just meshed into one team. So when we're talking about films, when we're talking about work, it's not Josh and the crew or Mark and the crew. It's Blue View Studios. It's Blue View Cinema. There's none of that hierarchy, essentially. Yeah, of course you consider a director to be the higher role.
Right.
But it's not a hierarchy at all. It's just one guy that is commanding the team to go out there, and then there's just a bunch of team members out there executing it. Right. We all got to get this thing taken care of, and everybody specializes in something, and that's just how it goes. So that's my specialty, is directing. Milan's a camera op, and so on and so forth.
Perfect. Yeah, so not so much a throw, more of a round table.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally round. That's a great example.
That's perfect, actually.
Dave, I'm going to use that one. I haven't heard that one.
Okay, fine, go ahead. Take all my ideas. Too. I don't care.
Yeah. Take all my ideas. You got a movie idea?
Yeah. Well, actually, here, let me throw this at you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah.
We're just like, really late on us.
I was so excited. I'm like, all right, Dave, let's do it.
No, I wish I was that creative, but I don't got that. I just got a voice and a face for radio. That's where I'm at.
Hey, it's doing well for you.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Okay, so just to give a little recap here. So next movie that's coming out, it's going to be basically an anthology, 5 shorts.
Yes.
Condensed into one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of, when do you think the release date will be for this?
That's a tough one.
I know. This is
that
very,
one
very
is
far into the
I
future.
will throw the big letters TBD on that one.
Now in development.
But we will put it this way. It's definitely going to be worked on next year for sure. So the way we work, if it's in 2018, it's not going to be any later than 2019.
Awesome.
For sure. But this is definitely something we want to put a little bit of TLC into.
Yeah, we want to get it done, but we need to make sure we get it done right.
Right. And it might be something where we honestly just make one of the films and use that as an ability to pitch the other 4 films. Awesome. Because if we can get a bigger budget,
kind of like shooting a pilot.
Exactly,
so
like a pilot. So some sort of fizzler. And if we can start with just one and work our way to getting the other 4, maybe through other investors. Because I would hate to just put in like $5,000, and then that's all we got to work with. Like, I would love to see us get $100,000 to make all of these. And I think that's very likely if we're able to make one really attractive looking short and they're like, dang, this blows me away. What are the other four? You know?
Right.
So I've always been, well, not always, I've been saying recently, I think it's easier to convince an investor to give us $100,000 to make $1 million than $100 million to make $1 billion.
Right.
So... Yeah, but no, it's definitely going to start off small. But like I said, the way we work, it ain't going to be more than a year or two.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Dance Gavin Gans with their song "Betrayed by the Game." Oldie but goodie right there. Is it an oldie but goodie, Milan?
No, it's from their newest album.
Okay, well, all right, so goodie.
Newy and also
but bettery.
Pretty goodie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great E, actually, I love it. It's great.
IOU. Okay.
All right, so we're coming to the tail end of the show here. We roughly have 10 minutes left to do a little BSing. I just want to know, what are some of the most memorable moments you have had on set, whether it be a studio or a wedding video, whether just making films yourself, what have you?
You want to start first, Milan?
No, oh boy, do I. Well, on set or wedding,
You can do commercials too.
Yeah, commercials count.
Commercials too.
Or
Yeah,
just social media interactions. I don't know.
I can't.
I'm stalling.
I say I'm stalling too.
No, yeah, you first.
Probably when we were shooting. I hate always coming back to it, but when we were shooting Zombie Harambe, if you will.
Zarambi.
We had like 10 or 12 people cramped into a little like 450 square foot studio apartment in Detroit. Our buddy Brian Hines, who played Harambe in that film, and just having to like tiptoe around each other and like tiptoe around Tommy Kraft as he's setting up lights and stuff, and just being in that really confined space for like hours, late into the night.
Yeah.
I was just it was kind of frustrating, but more so just a lot of fun and really hilarious to look back on.
You did look great in those that safari outfit.
Thank you.
Was it like the classic cheesy safari?
Oh,
outfit?
it's as cheesy as you can imagine.
Khaki
the hat
shorts,
and everything.
khaki shirt, khaki safari hat.
Khaki hat.
Nigel Thornberry would be
Khaki
proud.
glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Imagine the man in the yellow hat from Curious George, but all beige. That's what I was wearing.
Oh, it was great.
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
a dream. As soon as I was writing the script, I'm like, Milan has to be it, please.
I changed in the wardrobe for that day, and I came out of the bathroom I was changing, and Josh looks at me. He just like, the look on his face.
It was so rewarding. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. He's
Awesome.
You haven't seen the last of Milan as an actor, guaranteed. The guy's gonna be in other stuff.
seen the last of me.
We still got to go back and do those board game shorts.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes,
did a
we
board
do.
game about perfection that Milan was in
Yeah.
called About Time. It's on our channel, and I actually wrote 3 more scripts on that, and yeah, we definitely got to jump back into those for sure.
Please do. Yeah, I love getting the limelight.
Hey,
It's so good.
I remember seeing that when you had the event at Imagine. For
Yeah.
the of the Alpha.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was
yeah.
hysterical. I was
Oh.
dying.
Oh yeah. I just like being a Milan's drunk father. Like, that was great. Coming in, you know, I got a game for you. Shut the hell up. Let your dad get some sleep. But no, yeah, this is so good. That's something too. I've been doing a lot of acting this year too, and whether some people like it or not, I've really enjoyed putting on the Michael Scott performance for our film office shorts. We did a parody of The Office, and I really loved being able to tack on that cheesy character, because it didn't really feel like acting for me. The eye rolls and everything, that's just what I live with.
Mark is convinced that that Josh Taube, as a person, like before The Office came on, he's convinced that Josh Taube didn't exist before then.
Yeah.
And like when The Office aired, that's when Josh came into existence.
Yeah, apparently I developed a personality after The Office aired. So, and just like living through Spirit or something, Michael Scott. But yeah, real quick with mine, my memory, I'd have to probably say was probably really when I auditioned Al for his part with Inspired by Death back in 2014, because Al thought that I was gonna cast him in an adult film. We'll put it in radio terms, adult film quotes. And because I was like, why don't you come over to, because I worked with him at H&R Block way back when, and I was his quality assurance analyst, so I was basically studying his calls, and he'd sit down, and I'd be like, all right, this is what you got to work on, blah, blah, blah. Well, Al had a look to him that I liked, and I was like, you know what? Why don't
I like
you...
the way you look, Al.
I was like, do you act? And he's like, I did sort of. I'm like, why don't you come to my place and audition for this role? And he's like, okay. So Al's all nervous, I guess, and he comes to my place, and
because Josh told me to like the way he looks, I'd be nervous too.
I didn't say I like the way you look. I've said it in my head. But no, Al shows up, right? And he's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll audition for it. So I'm like, hey, Al, why don't you have a seat on my couch and read the script and act for me? So Al's like, okay, sit on your couch, and so it's a leather couch, so that doesn't help my case. So he sits down, and he's
literally casting him on a couch.
Al went through the casting couch, and so he's sitting there, and he's reading through the script, and he's like, oh, this is a drama. Oh, this isn't erotica at all. I don't know if I can use it on the radio, so, I'll let Dave say the word if he can.
No, I like how you're doing it.
Okay.
Right now.
That's great.
So, like moving pictures that involve people with less attire, he thought he'd be in that, This is so, wow. But no, so as soon as he read that, he's like, oh, okay. Okay, you don't want to, you want me to have clothes on in this movie. That's great. And so, but no, he read the part. He destroyed it in a good way, and he did an amazing job. But it's just so funny that it all started with this casting couch thing, and now the guy's like one of my top actors, and he's acting in other films, and he's like, Josh, I'm
member of the crew.
Yeah, and he's like, Josh, seriously, I'm glad you brought me out on the casting couch. So
I'm so glad we almost shot a porno.
Oh yeah, but it's just amazing.
Or I'm sorry, erotica.
Yeah, you said it. But no, it's really amazing, like how we all met, and you can tell that there's just that degree of destiny with it, like. The odds of me working at H&R Block to meet Al, and the odds of Mark's cousin, Milan here, wanting to make films too, And even my makeup artist, Nick, like, he was my Comcast technician, and we just talked, and he's like, yeah, I do makeup. I'm like, really? And then from Nick, that's how I met Eric. And then it just spiraled out from there.
Just the community just developed right to the
Isn't that,
yeah.
that to me, that validates that what we're doing is meant to be.
88.3 WXOU received November 25th at 2:12 p.m.